Alright, it's that time of year in the Appalachians where the snow is no more, the sun's out longer, the woods are beginning to get green, leaves are budding, trees and shrubs are blooming, and ramps are coming up. These are, I guess, like a local delicacy that grow, I think, everywhere in the eastern United States. Some places more prevalent than others, but it's it's like a wild onion. Some people refer to it as a wild leek. Some people call it wild garlic, but that's what it is. These aren't fully mature, or for the season. It's a perennial plant that comes back. As you can see, they grow in patches, and it kind of just spreads and spreads and spreads and spreads. And people like me find these patches, and I keep track of it in my mind, so I can come back when they're like this, before everybody else is in the woods looking for them, and before anybody else stumbles upon them, and dig some for me to eat. And a lot of people do that. They're tasty enough that people will keep track of spots like this just for being able to come out and find them as soon as they pop up. But we'll get a few of these up out of the ground and show you what they look like up close, and maybe how to identify them, and we'll compare them with some of the other things, because if you're like me, if you've ever talked about ramps to somebody who's not familiar with them, it's a pain to try to explain to them what it is that you're talking about eating. Tell me more, and everybody thinks wild onion, and that's basically what it is. But then some people think that it's the wild onions that grow in your yard. But let me get going, and we'll get a few of these out. All right, we got us a nice little mess of ramps dug up. These are uncleaned, of course. It's helpful to have something to dig with. Those that I was digging was in a real rocky area, so it was kind of a pain. And I didn't have anything with me. I wasn't planning on finding them out as early as I did this year there. But I did have a screwdriver in the back floor, so that's what I used to dig these. But if you had like a small spade or a small mattock or something like that, or sand hoe, that'd be perfect for digging these out. But you can see, it's like a broadleaf onion, basically. They're pretty pungent. Right now the smell of this is probably taking over my car. But we'll get these cleaned up and show you how we do that. Alright, this is the one that I think that a lot of people think of when you say wild onion. These are actually wild onions. These are the type that'll grow in your yard, and it looks like a miniature green onion that you'd buy at Kroger or wherever. But when people say, ramp is a wild onion, I think a lot of people think that it's just another name for this wild onion, and it's not. So I just wanted to put that in there just to clarify. Alright, here we've got one ramp that's clean and one that isn't. Basically a good rinse in the sink, and get all the dirt off of it. There's a slimy layer right here on the like the outer layer, I guess, of the bulb. You peel that off, cut the little threaded roots of it off, and one more rinse, and it's ready to go. Sometimes we do take the just the tips, the roots that we cut off, and plant those, and sometimes they'll take, and you can have your own ramp patch right there in your backyard. But for the most part, all you do is chop it up into pieces. You can, if you prefer just the bulb, you can do the bulb. We do the entire plant, greens and all. We chop them up, and they're the two favorite dishes that we like them in is fried potatoes and scrambled eggs. But give it a go. Substitute it for an onion or something like that, every chance you get, and maybe you'll like it in a variety of things. As far as identifying it, I did want to point out too that the more mature ones will have a little bit of a pink to purple collar right here on the stem. They'll get that here in just a week or so whenever they get a little bit bigger. But that's what a ramp is. It's basically a big broadleaf green onion. But check them out. See if you can find some. They're really good. Any suggestions for videos in the future? Leave them in the comments. Like and subscribe. And I appreciate it.